All right, welcome back, guys. So in this one, we are going to create our first Ionic project on the course. Okay. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to my step 3, which is to create an Ionic app. All right. And I closed my CMD, so I'm just going to open it up one more time. All right. So we have the CMD open. For some reason, I'm not able to increase the font size. I think it's Control and Plus, but anyway, I just hope you can actually see. So first off, remember in the last lecture we installed Ionic. So to check the version of Ionic you have, okay, just type Ionic. So that should be in small letter. So I'll say Ionic, and then I'll say -V, and I'll hit enter. And if you give it some time, it will show you your Ionic version. So I have Ionic CLI version is 6.12.3. Okay, so let's come to our app toolkit. All right, so to create an Ionic app, right, there are some things we need to have in mind, okay, because some details will be asked of us. The first is the framework. Now, if you are new to programming or you don't even know anything about programming, then I'm not going to bother you. Just know that we are choosing Angular. Okay. All right. So the next is the name of your app or the name of your project. Okay. So just have a name in your mind that you want to create. Let's say you want to create a book app or something. And then next we're going to choose a layout or a template. Okay, so there are different templates. Okay, I just listed 3 here. So there's blank, side menu, tabs, and others. And then we're going to choose either to use capacitor or Cordova on the project. In this course, I'm going to be using Cordova because we are not building any um, special feature, so it's just a basic app that we're going to learn how to build and monetize. So Cordova is just fine. All right, so to get started creating your Ionic app, all you need to do is to click copy to copy this command. So I'll just click on copy, and basically this is the command Ionic start. And I would, before I start creating my Ionic app, actually we're going to create a directory where all of our apps will be located. So I'm just going to go to my computer, so my computer, and then I would go inside my C drive. Okay, because I don't want my apps to be on the desktop. I want it to be in a special folder. And what you need to do is inside of your C drive, just come and create a folder and just name it Ionic. Okay, as simple as that. It's inside of this folder that we're going to create various apps. Okay, so that's how we're going to work. We're going to organize everything. So I'll just minimize this, bring up my browser, and what's this? Oh, I'm getting some error. Occurred in your application. Let me click on quit. I don't know where that error is coming from, but anyway, let's continue. So click the copy here to copy the Ionic start command, and inside of your command prompt, I'm just going to right click, and that will paste in the command. Oh, sorry, before I right click, I need to navigate to that new folder I created inside of my C drive. So if you look very closely here, right, you see that C drive is the first thing, and then we have users and this particular user. What I need to do is I need to go 2 steps down to C drive. So remember, when we want to go between folders, I'll say CD, which is to change directory. And if I want to go 1 step down, I'll just say ... and I'll hit enter. So you see now I'm at C drive and users. So I've gone 1 step downwards. If I want to go another step down to my C drive, I'll just repeat the same thing. So I'll just press my upward arrow to access my last command, and then I'll hit enter. So you see now I am in the C drive. And remember, we created Ionic folder inside of our C drive. So basically I'll say CD and I'll type Ionic. Okay, but if I say CD Ion and then I hit tab key, it will complete it for me, so I know that I'm typing the correct thing, and then I'll hit enter. So you see now I'm in the Ionic folder. Okay, so if I create my if I create an app inside of this Ionic folder, I can organize everything. So I'm just going to come back here and I'll copy my command to create an Ionic app. I'll bring this up. Let me centerize it, and then I'll right click to paste that in, and I'll hit enter. All right, so the very first thing, so let me just drag this a little bit to the side so we can see. So you see that the very first thing it asks me for is to choose a framework. And remember I said we're going to be working with Angular, okay? You're not actually programming anything. It's just the options we are working with, okay? So hit enter. By the way, you can move upwards or downwards with the upward and downward arrow key, okay? So but leave it in Angular and hit enter. Next, it's asking me for a project name. So app name, I'm just going to say my app. So the A is capitalized, okay? That's how I like it. And then I'll hit enter. And then it's asking me to select a template, a starter template, so which is the same thing as a layout. For this first one, I'm going to choose blank, but subsequently we are going to work with side menu. So I've pressed the downward arrow twice, okay, to come to blank, and I'll hit enter. Oh, so it's telling me that my app already exists. Do I want to override it? So let me just check my Ionic folder just to confirm if I actually have. Oh, so I have my app there. So I don't want to override it. So what am I going to do? Wow, I didn't see this coming. So I'm going to choose no, that I don't want to override it, because I actually don't want to override it. I don't know what I have there. So let me see. Okay, so I'm going to have to start the process all over again, but this time I'll choose another app name. Okay, so let me say Ionic Start. Okay, and I'll hit enter, and I'll choose Angular, so I'll be faster now. This time I'll say my first app, so I'll say my capital letter F first and capital letter A and APP. Okay, and I'll hit enter. You can go ahead and actually set yours to my app. It doesn't matter, we're still going to do the same thing. And then I'm going to choose the blank template, and as you can see, it's preparing. Now last is asking me if I want to integrate my new app with Capacitor to target native iOS and Android. So I'm not going to choose Capacitor because I'm not actually using any special features. Okay, it's just the basic app that we want to create. Okay, so I'm going to say no, and I'll hit enter. At this point, it will start creating my app, and this is one of the reasons why I said you need to have a very good internet connection, because it's actually downloading files from the internet, okay, from the Ionic server. So you see it's fetching some data, so you need to have good internet for you to actually go through this process without any kind of errors. Okay, so this process actually takes time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and wait for the app to be fully created, and then I'll come back and we'll continue the lecture. All right, so I'm pausing the video right now. All right, so guys, after about maybe like 15-20 minutes, my application is done. My Ionic application has been completely created. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to that folder. Okay, remember the name of the app is my first app, so I'm in Windows C drive Ionic, and as you can see here we have my first app. Okay, so I will bring this down and I'll come here, and what I'm going to do now is I'll navigate into the my first app folder. Okay, that's the instruction we have here. So it says go to your new project, and then it gives us this command. So we're going to say cd, which stands for change directory. I'll give a space, and I'll then say my first, and remember to complete the word I can just hit the tab key. Okay, so it says cd my first app. I'll hit enter, and if you look very well here, you see that I am now in the directory of my first app. Now, how can we view this app in the browser? So first off, I'm going to open this folder inside my code editor. So I'll come here and I would say, or maybe before I open it in my code editor, I can actually just run a command here that will, well, maybe I should just open it in my code editor. So I would search for Visual Studio Code, okay, and that's what we have here, and I'll click on it to open it up. And yeah, so Visual Studio Code is open in my browser or on my desktop. So what I'm going to do now is I will just bring up, oh, this video is 10 minutes already. So I'll just bring up my Ionic folder, and then I'll drag this, my first app, inside of Visual Studio Code. Okay, so I can even close this welcome tab. I'll come here and drag my first app inside Visual Studio Code. I'm doing this for those that are using Visual Studio Code for the first time. Okay, so let me just do that, and this shouldn't waste so much time. I wonder what the problem is. So maybe I'm just going to do that again. There's another way I can do this, but I just wanted to show you, if you're a beginner, you can just drag a folder inside of Visual Studio. Oh, so it works now. Okay, and yeah, so you see here that I am in my first app. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, this video is already 10 minutes plus, so I would stop the video here, and in the next video I would continue. All right, so see you in the next video.